As the summer break comes to an end and all the drivers come back from their holidays on their yachts and jet skis, getting their helmets ready to start the second half of the season, there's 3 drivers who are literally driving for their careers in Formula One. In this video, I'll go through who they are. So it's a summer break and I was looking through the grid, seeing how each driver has done throughout the year, and there's 3 people that stand out as people who have really underperformed and their potential career is on the line when it comes to Formula One. The first one comes with an asterisk next to the name, and the last one has the big bosses in Formula One who are really wanting him to do well. I explain who it is and why at the end of this video, so stick around for that. So like I mentioned, the first driver that comes up with an asterisk next to the name, and this asterisk is basically, hopefully senior people in the team have managed to talk to the owner and explain why he shouldn't be guaranteed a seat year on year. He's had many years behind him to prove that he is capable and good enough to be in Formula One, but this year he has really underperformed, especially compared to his teammate, and has really exposed himself. His commitment is there, but his lack of performance isn't there. So this person is Lance Stroll. Obviously, his position on the grid depends on whether his father has finally realised that maybe the team would be better off with another driver. Although I did do another video before explaining why it might be a good idea to have Lance Stroll still in the team, but overall, if you take a step back and you look at it and you look at his performance and you look at what Fernando Alonso has done and all the podiums he managed to do when the team were up there and all the positions that Lance Stroll didn't manage to do and the gap between them, then you can see hands down easily that Lance Stroll has been underperforming, and if he wasn't his father's son, then his position will be on the line. The second driver, someone similar to Fernando Alonso, as in like he's been in Formula One for many years and then he took a break from Formula One to race sports cars and then he's come back into Formula One. He came back into Formula One last year and he did really well. He improved the performance of the team. He raised the team to an extra level. He got a pole position last year and he really had a really good season last year. But this year, he's had a new teammate who's done exactly the same as what the original guy did last year by raising the bar even more and outperforming this person. And this person is Kevin Magnussen. Magnussen, like I said, did awesome last year when he came back into the team. Haas team had 2 inexperienced guys that kept crashing the car and they just needed an experienced person to bag some points and not to trash the car and waste a lot of money. And that's what K-Mag did. He came in, he had a good result straight away. It was consistent, it wasn't as reckless as the 2 guys before. Mick Schumacher was still crashing, and then K-Mag got a pole, and then obviously with Schumacher still crashing, Haas decided to get 2 experienced guys going forward. Welcome back the Hulk. And now the Hulk has been outperforming K-Mag. The Hulk has been out qualifying, has been getting into Q3 on quite a few occasions, whilst K-Mag was still in Q1, languishing in Q1, Q2. If it wasn't for the lack of race pace in the Haas, then Hulkenberg easily would have bagged a few more points than what K-Mag has done and pulled further away in the points table. So I feel that Kevin Magnussen has been underperforming this year compared to Nico Hulkenberg, who had 3 years out of the sport, let's not forget. 3 years out of the sport, bar 1 or 2 races, and he just came in and it was just like bam, straight in there getting some points. So Kevin Magnussen, he needs to watch out, he needs to pull his socks up and get some results in the second half of the season. And like I mentioned, this third driver, the top bosses, Liberty Media, who own Formula One, would love this guy to be amazing. They would love this guy to be a star. If this guy was a star, it would help sell Formula One even more and promote it more in his home country. And as well as Liberty Media loving the extra exposure in his home country that he would bring, the other teams, especially the manufacturers, would love this exposure because then they could sell cars there, more Mercedes, more Ferraris, more, I don't know, did they sell Alpines there? All the manufacturers would be happy for more exposure in this country because there's so much money and opportunity and expansion that Formula One could have in this country. Formula One's growing already. Drive to Survive has taken it to this next level with 3 tracks there, 3 races, and you know, we want to keep Formula One popular in this country, and that's why having a driver that's fast and not just making the numbers would really help sell Formula One in this country, and that's Logan Sargeant. He's American. If Formula One had a fast American driver, Liberty Media, all the Formula One manufacturers, they'll all be happy with the extra opportunity and money and exposure this driver would bring. Logan Sargeant isn't fast if you judge him by his first half of the season. He came into Formula One maybe slightly early. He could have done another season in F2, I think, but he's just underperformed. He hasn't really got up to speed, especially if you compare him with his teammate Alex Albon. Is just miles apart. And anytime you're watching a session, there's that yellow bar at the top that says there's a yellow flag somewhere. The first person I think of is Logan Sargeant. I'm really sorry, but I do. I think, oh God, Logan Sargeant spun again. So that's a bad reputation to have. It's like, you know, Latifi type reputation, which isn't the reputation you want. So hopefully Logan Sargeant will pull his finger out and do really well in the second half of the season and impress the team to sign him up for the next year. So those are the 3 drivers that I feel that are driving for their careers. Some people could argue that either Tsunoda, Perez or Ricciardo should be on the list. I made a video what I feel that these 3 drivers need to do to help their careers going forward. If you're interested in watching that video, feel free to click here. Thank you for watching and enjoy the next race.